Greetings of the day, students, and welcome back to the session under Bridge Course Chemistry. My name is Dr. Sarika Joshi. I am the Assistant Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Pune. In my previous sessions, we have seen the concept of pH, that is potential hydrogen, and its application in food industry. Today we are going to look at the session based on ethyl and methyl alcohol. The objectives of today's session are to understand what is ethyl alcohol. The second objective is to understand what is methyl alcohol, and the next objective is based on the applications of ethyl as well as methyl alcohol. Let us now understand what is ethyl or ethyl alcohol. Well, we all are acquainted with the term alcohol. The objective of learning this concept under the bridge course of Bachelor of Hospitality is to understand the spirits or alcohol under the subject food and beverage service. So, coming back to the concept of ethyl alcohol, alcohol are hydroxy derivatives of aliphatic hydrocarbons. They are manufactured by fermentation of sugars. The major source of commercial alcohol is molasses, which is a byproduct in the sugar industry. Ethyl alcohol is also called as ethanol. It is the primary alcoholic component in majority of the alcoholic beverages. The alcoholic beverages such as beer is having about 3 to 12% of alcohol. On the other hand, the alcoholic beverage which is wine is having about 11 to 16% of ethanol. The difference between the percentage of ethanol varies as per the type of the wine. Other than beer and wine, the alcohol percentage in the spirits is about 30 to 90%. Now let us see the chemical formula for ethanol. The formula is C2H6O. In its normal states, the ethanol is a colorless liquid and at the same time it is a flammable liquid. In multiple alcoholic beverages, they do gain color, but that is because of the ingredients which are used in the entire production process, or when they are being aged in wood or artificially colored, they obtain the color of the alcoholic beverage. So otherwise ethanol is a colorless liquid. Moving on, ethanol is produced as a waste product by enzymes that is used to break down sugars to feed themselves. The alcohol here acts as a deterrent to other microorganisms to allow the yeast to dominate. Alcoholic beverages are produced by preparing cereal grains, grapes, sugarcane, molasses, agave plants, and many other fruits and vegetables, or even plants, to extract the sugar from them. Then mixing those sugar with water and yeast, the yeast here reacts and produces ethanol as it eats the sugar. This process is called as fermentation. And the people who are involved in this process of fermentation or production of alcoholic beverages are called as brewers. For example, you must have come across the term beer brewing. Well, beer and wine are simply fermented. Spirits such as whiskey, rum, vodka, etc. are produced by distillation process to extract and concentrate the ethanol created by fermentation. Distillation process is been touch based in the previous sessions of chemistry. You can gain little more knowledge by attending to those videos based on distillation. Now, the upcoming diagram shows you the fermentation process of the beer and the wine. In the process, you will understand that ethanol is produced as a waste product and yeast is added in the entire process, which acts as a useful microorganism. So you can see in the picture about the process of wine production and beer production. Well, moving ahead and understanding more about alcoholic beverages, let us understand them with the help of this tree diagram. You can see that alcoholic beverages here are divided into three components. The first here is malted liqueurs. The second one is wines, and the third one is spirits. Let us understand them one by one. Under malted liqueurs, we can say that they are obtained by the fermentation of germinating cereals, and the alcohol content here is pretty low, which is up to from 3 to 6%. The common examples to quote here are beer and stout. Moving on, the most popular and widely used alcoholic beverage is wines. And as mentioned earlier, we have variety of wines that are produced. Well, wines are produced by the fermentation of natural sugars which are present in grapes and certain other fruits. These wines can be further divided into first, that is light wines, wherein the alcohol content is from 9 to 12%. To quote certain examples, we have claret and cedar as examples of wines. The second category of wines is effervescent wine, where the alcohol content is much higher as compared to the light wines, which is ranging from 12 to 16%. And the very popular example to quote here is champagne. The third one, or the third category of wines, are fortified wines, where the alcohol content is between 16 to 22%. And the common examples which can be shared are port wine and sherry wine. The third component that now we are going to understand under alcoholic beverage is the spirits. Spirits, as mentioned earlier, are distilled after fermentation, and the alcohol content is between 40 to 55%. For example, rum, gin, whiskey, brandy and vodka. You will get to see the pictures of various alcoholic beverages in the upcoming slides. So you can see the picture of malted liqueurs, and the very commonly used ones are the beers and the stout on this particular slide. The explanation about the alcohol content is mentioned on the label of that particular alcoholic beverages. Moving on, you can see a slide based on various category of wines as Cedar, which is under the light wine. We have Champagne, which is under the effervescent wine, and we have fortified wine as sherry or port. Again, as I said earlier, as per the category of the wine, the alcohol percentage also differs and is mentioned on the alcoholic beverage bottle. Moving on to this slide, you will get to see certain pictures of spirits which are having high alcohol percentage, such as rum, gin, whiskey, brandy and vodka, and hence they are used as a base for multiple cocktails, and the other beverage such as soft drink or any other fruit juice is added to make a particular cocktail, which helps to reduce or dilute the particular drink and give it a particular flavor. Alcohol, as I said earlier, is a CNS depressant. So as we know that these are various beverages that are available, they have definitely a certain percentage of unpleasant or unwanted kind of reactions on the body depending on the percentage of consumption. So you can say that certain beverages, upon majority of the times if they are consumed, may produce sedation, which may lead to sleep or sometimes even unconsciousness. In acute cases, it may take a person to coma due to respiratory failures leading to vascular collapse. The forms of alcohol with the kind of percentage of ethanol is absolute alcohol, which has 99% of ethanol, rectified spirit, which has 90% of ethanol, and proof spirit, which is having about 49 to 50% of ethanol. However, ethanol or ethyl alcohol, as we just mentioned, is not only applicable in the alcoholic beverages, but also it is applicable or used as flavorings. It can be also seen or labeled under various sprays that is body sprays that we use, and it can be also used as a fuel. Let us see that a little bit into detail. So ethanol fuel is a fuel which contains ethyl alcohol, the same type of alcohol which is found in alcoholic beverages. It is most often used as motor fuel, mainly as a biofuel additive or as a gasoline. Let's see what gasoline means here. So gasoline or petrol is a petrochemical product which is characterized as a transparent, yellowish and flammable liquid which is normally used as a fuel for spark ignited internal combustion engines when formulated as a fuel for engines. And that is the reason why while handling them one has to follow the precautions and the preventive measures. As mentioned earlier, it is a flammable liquid. Now moving on to methyl alcohol. Methyl alcohol is also called as methanol, and it has a formula CH3OH. It is one of the simplest alcohols. It is usually found in many alcoholic beverages in very little amount. Like ethanol, it causes inebriation in humans when consumed, only in certain cases though. It is also a colorless liquid and a flammable liquid as like ethanol. Unlike ethanol, when the liver breaks methanol down, it creates the poisonous components that may cause damages to human body. Whereas commercially, when it is produced, alcoholic beverages do not present methanol poisoning issues. A little bit more about methanol. It is not produced directly by yeast, which is used by brewers for commercial fermentation. It is produced through reactions of microorganisms with pectin, which is a natural component in plant walls. Methanol is used commercially as a gelling agent, and in any case, if you are fermenting fruits, then you usually get slightly more methanol. For commercial quantities, it is used to produce by distillation of wood, and that is why it is also called as wood alcohol, or it can be produced by hydrogenating carbon dioxide. Methyl alcohol or methanol is also a CNS depressant just as ethanol. Even 15 milliliter of methanol may cause blindness, and an increase in the amount may even lead to death. Vomiting, headache, epigastric pain, uneasiness are some of the symptoms if you have consumed it in a more than a required quantity. So in this particular figure, you can see that natural gas or methanol is further bifurcated into acetic acid and formalin. Formalin further gets divided into polyacetyl and or acid adhesive, which becomes the chemical product for producing certain material such as plywood, high performance plastics and synthetic fibers, or sometimes it's also used in pharmaceuticals. So that goes for the application of methanol. So as we come to the end of the session, let us understand what is ethanol and methanol with the help of difference between them. Starting with ethanol, it is the alcohol with an ethyl group in the carbon skeleton. On the other hand, methanol is the alcohol with a methyl group in the carbon skeleton. Ethanol is a weaker acid than water, whereas methanol has a level of acidity slightly higher than that of water. Ethanol is the alcohol which is found majorly in beverages. On the other hand, methanol is highly toxic and is not at all suitable for consumption. Ethanol is produced by fermentation of sugar by yeast, whereas the manufacturing of methanol, or it is mostly produced synthetically through catalyst from carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and hydrogen. Ethanol can cause drowsiness, which get naturally balanced off by natural body mechanism. However, a very small amount of methanol, which is even less than half a teaspoon, may cause any kind of harm to the human body, such as blindness. So you have to be very careful while you are handling either ethanol or mostly methanol. I hope you have understood both the concepts, and I shall see you in the next session soon. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.